How did you feel the first time you saw your partner naked? The first few times it was very exciting, as expected. But then, one day we had taken a shower together before bed, and something just really clicked. She told me that she was going to put on some hydrating oil because she felt that her skin was dry. I said that I'd like to put it on for her, and she obliged. So in the quiet late night and warm, cozy lighting, I sat as she stood in front of me with her hands resting on my shoulders. From there, I took my time slowly massaging every square inch of her body, in silence, taking in every detail that I'd never noticed before, twirling her around front and back whenever I needed, from her collarbones, down her arms, chest and over her belly, down and between her thighs, over her ass and pubic area. I then had her sit on my lap so I could get her shins and toes. As she sat, I noticed the crease where her hips meets her thighs. I noticed how comfortably she let her legs hang. I felt how soft the cute little area under her belly button was. I fell in love with that cute little tummy in that moment, and how she held herself to me with her arm behind my neck and melted into me. The squish of her tights, the subtle overhang of her breast, her slow, calm breath and strong, steady heart. I stood her up in front of me again and ran my hands down her glistening waist to her ass and just admired the beauty that is my woman. I felt her stretch marks. My hands were able to run smoothly over her body from the oil. I ran my hand down and over her breast down to her tummy and back up again, pulling her closer from the small of her back. She sat down again, and I massaged her hands down to her fingertips. I noticed even as she sat comfortably, she effortlessly retained her hourglass figure. I looked at her, and she was bashfully smiling at me. When I looked into her beautiful blue-green doe eyes, I felt someone great looking back into me, looking at me full of love. It was in this moment I really realized that my girl is an absolute goddess, strong, soft, and athletic, kind, wise, and teeming with life. All I could do was kiss her and rest my forehead against her neck and sigh with deep contentment. I wanted to cry. I felt so lucky. Few words were exchanged, and it was the most in love I'd ever felt at age 21. I thought about how I want to spend the rest of my life with her. I rested my hand on her tummy, and she pressed hers on mine. I imagined having children with her, and I sensed she imagined the same. I kissed her. She kissed me with her palm running along my jawline. I stood up and carried her bridal style to her bedroom. We had to take rinse off in the shower again, not too long after. Sophia, if you ever somehow stumble across this, your boy loves you. I felt like Damon. He was and is without a doubt the nicest, most gentle man ever. Took his clothes off and he was shy. Literally has the most perfect body I've ever seen. Like the statues from back in the day, I can't think of Lowell. It was so sweet because he felt nervous even though he was so perfect. 5 years later, and after he spends all day outside building houses, comes up and keeps working on our house. He's completely remolding the whole thing himself. Sexy as in its own way. But the man comes upstairs sweaty and tired, and I just think, holy shit, you're so hot. He still gets shy about it, and I just think, man, I'm so lucky. Even better, I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 young toddlers a year apart. And there are days I'm in my robe all day. It's cold and easy. When he comes up, he always tells me not only how great I'm doing, even stuff, especially if the house is crazy and everyone is telling, because that means fun, but that I'm so sexy with my messy hair and clothes, and if I even tease taking the robe off, he's ready then and there. Thanks for the post and helping me think about this, cause damn do we love each other, even in our sweaty work clothes or messy mom bun and leggings with loose shirt. So happy for my kids to see what real love is. She wasn't naked, but when I met my wife, it was a setup. A mutual friend insisted we had to meet. I was skeptical. We met at a hair salon. Weird, I know, but I had a bunch of friends who worked there and we'd hang out. Drinks, food, etc. after hours on Wednesday nights. It was a thing. So I pull up, get out of my car, and I spotted her through the front window. I blurted out aloud, and my friend who set us up frantically asks, "What's wrong?" I was 100% convinced I had no shot. I had dated a lot of girls by this point, so I kind of knew my league. The girl sitting in the salon was entirely out of it. I started to get a little mad, kind of like, "Why did you set me up for this embarrassment?" My friend convinced me to go inside, and 20 years later, we're still happily married. The first time I saw her naked, I was in awe, just stupefied at how gorgeous she was. I don't know what I did to win her over, but I feel like the luckiest man in the world most days. Stunned. She literally checks all the boxes for me the first time we meet. Talk for hours. Then suddenly she makes a hell of a first move, and in minutes, she's half naked. Fuck me. I felt my brain shut off and primal sex mode kick on. Been together a full year now. The sex is still as hot as ever. God, I was so excited. My first time ever. I was 17, had had a crush on her since around 14. Incredible proportions. We split ways for several years, became FB friends at age 28, married her at age 38, had our adorable baby this year at 40, still in absolute awe, not only of her naked body, but just her. I remember thinking, "Are you fucking kidding me?" when he took off his shirt. The man was and is so well put together, I thought it was a joke. Even now, every time I see him naked, I thank all the gods and goddesses and every deity imaginable for this fine human I get to touch whenever I want. Well, considering she was my longtime crush since high school, I felt like I won the lottery, the World Cup, the World Series, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the Indy 500, so on and so forth. I've since put a ring on her finger and a couple of babies inside that smoke show body of hers. So even better, his body is a work of art. I love his tattoos. You wouldn't know when he has clothes on. I felt so warm near him. He's a furnace. I think about it now. I regret not taking more time since I am his first. I felt love for him. I just accepted him and everything about him. Extremely happy and surprised. We dated for a few weeks before anything physical happened. I actually thought I was picking her up to go to lunch, but she answered the door in a robe and pulled me into her bedroom and ripped it off. Very hot and assertive. We've been together 12 years now and have 2 kids. I was horny and also excited to be so close to someone again, but I was also insecure in myself because I don't have the greatest body, but we're kind of on the same level, so I didn't care too much about it after a while. Also, wow, that's big. XD. Whoa, mama. Humana. Zoo, and eyes pop out. Aroga. Jaw drops, tongue rolls out. Woof, woof. Woof, 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 woof. Tongue bursts out of my uncontrollably leaking face, and everything in reach, tiny Cupid shoots an arrow through heart. I kinda met her that way when I first saw her at my ex-house. She was beautiful, but I tried my best to look away and be respectful as much as I could. Fast forward 5 years later, we just got married and we are so happy together. I was shocked, asked him just what he intended to do with that, not realizing that it could make him self-conscious, which was 100% not my intent. But I had never seen a specimen so large and was concerned for my kitty. We laugh about it now. Ha ha ha. He is gorgeous. God, truly. He's got gorgeous dark hair and eyes, the perfect balance of muscle and chub. Every line I see on him inspires me to draw. He's so perfect. The first time, I think I just thought, wow, I cannot wait to touch you. Well, I'm 54 and got out of a marriage where my ex never felt comfortable being naked around me. My new fiance has no problem getting naked and gives me a little show each morning she gets dressed. And she's got an amazing body at 55. The same way I feel now. I just want to hold you close to me and never let go. It's not always lustful. Sometimes it's about the lovely cuddles on a cold day with a heated blanket while watching TikTok separately, but together in the same bed. Felt a little bit in awe. I remember thinking she looked like she was from an 18th century French painting. She was freaking beautiful. I felt a surge of love for her, and then my horniness took the driver's seat. We started going to town. She had a big map on her bedroom wall. She was getting changed, and I immediately became overly immersed in finding different places on Earth. I didn't want her to think I was there for sex or anything. I even slept with my jeans on. I can't describe the amount my heart raced. I became so infatuated with her and her angelic beauty. Every bone in my body screamed from the top of my lungs. Holy fuck. That's what it means to make love to someone. I had never been with a really buff guy before, so my mind was blown. Plus, he has a gorgeous whiner. We're both in our 30s now with 1.5 kids, and he has a fantastic dad bod that I equally drool over. Like I saw a man's dick for the very first time. Terrified and excited. It was not the first dick, or even the seventh, but definitely the first man dick. Cause holy shit, that was 8 years ago. We're married now. Dickmatized me. I was with a woman for a hot minute who I had no business being with. The first time I saw her naked, it genuinely looked like a Barbie doll body. I didn't think a body could be so perfect. A little intimidated, nervous. I had never had sex before, and I wasn't sure if he would fit in me or if it would hurt too much. But it fit and actually didn't hurt too much. Honestly, disgusted. Labs have specific PPE rules for a reason, and flaunting them makes for a dangerous work environment. All my other lab partners were also outraged at Nigel's cavalier approach to safety as well. Just really happy. She hadn't really trusted anyone like that before, and it meant a lot to me that she felt comfortable enough and trusted me enough to do that. He's quite a bit shorter than me, so thought he'd have a proportionally smaller PP. When he folded that absolute monster out of his boxers, I was afraid for my anus. Aroused and lucky. Dude is a fucking smoke show, LOL. Still to this day, I feel super aroused and lucky when I see him naked. He's still a total smoke show. Happy as a clam. He's a hottie. I remember the first time we had sex too. He said, "I've been imagining this for a long time." It was fucking cute. Remember that cartoon dog where his jaw hits the floor, tongue rolls out, and his eyes bulge out to the sound of an old-timey car horn? Basically that. Disbelief that someone that astonishing would be willing to sleep with me. Thank God for booze, or I'd have let it get in my head and stop me. LOL. Absolutely in awe that this goddess of a woman was with me. I remember simultaneously being incredibly nervous and wanting to explore and worship every inch of her. Well, I managed not to giggle. The male anatomy is, visually speaking, very comical emo, and it was the first time I'd seen a man totally naked, amazed and horny, and every time I see her naked, I still have this feeling. I feel absolutely grateful that a wonderful woman like this is with me. I love this person so much, but I'm ready for this sex to be over already. Insert asexual discovery years later after unlearning societal conditioning. I was like, wow. And then he asked what I was staring at. And I just told him that he was beautiful. We were both teens, 16 and 17, and it was awesome. No, we are in our mid-30s, and it's still awesome. Happy. Once we reach that point, doing the boogaloo is inevitable, barring unforeseen circumstances. Helicopter, 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 helicopter. Honestly, I was in complete awe. He's the most perfect human all around, and I wish he could see it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Reddit stories.